Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is your tarot reading for the week ahead. There has been a general theme for all of the zodiac readings this week of letting go. For some groups of star signs, that has been an easy process. For some groups of star signs, that's been a slightly more challenging one. Fire signs, particularly not wanting to let go of much. It's this fear of the unknown seems to be playing through. For the air signs, that has generally been a welcome relief, particularly for Libra. For you also, Aquarius, this process of letting go will be somewhat of a welcome one and probably not that unexpected. This week, don't be surprised if you're moving away from situations, moving away from projects, deadlines. There will be one process of completion. In another, it may just be, do you know what? I've had enough of this. I need to move on to bigger, better, and brighter things. The only slight caution here, Aquarius, is that you're not rushing that process of leaving things behind. Um, Please, 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 this week, do not throw out baby with bathwater. There could be times where you think, sod it, I'll get rid of it. Well, why not get rid of the whole lot? And there's me going, putting my head in my hands and despairing because that has been perhaps a little bit gung ho. You have lots and lots of cups showing up in your reading this week. Out of 5 cards, you've got 3 cup cards, and I'll go through the cards in a moment. So, unsurprisingly, lots of emotions coming up for you this week. Lots of emotions coming up across the board as we have this Aquarius, this new moon in Aquarius energy running around at the moment. And bringing to surface lots of things that have been buried. For you, this is perhaps going to be old hat. We start with the King of Cups, who is very, very self-assured within his emotional realm. Aquarius is always an interesting star sign because a lot of people mistake it as a water sign because it has that water symbol. But of course, Aquarius is an air sign because it contains the water. It's the water bearer that uses its mental faculties to slightly pull away from emotions. Don't be surprised, therefore, if you're looking around at fellow friends, friendships, work colleagues, those people that are around you and thinking, why are you behaving like this? Calm down. And in some ways, I can kind of see why you might be thinking like that. But also, in some ways, it's perhaps because people are going through things that you aren't wanting to investigate. It's funny with the King of Cups, he has this platform in this turbulent sea. And in some ways that can indicate a emotional maturity and not being thrown around by the worldly winds of emotions. And I want to say that's okay in part, that's quite helpful in part. But if it is bringing about this slight degree of separatism, I don't want to look at that. So you may find that there's some emotional avoidance going on, and don't allow your ego to trick you into thinking, oh, I don't need to worry about that. I don't need to care about that. Oh, it's fine. There's times where we can be a bit blasé or a bit glib and think, oh, it doesn't matter, I'll just throw that out, where actually it has real sentimental value. And years later, we end up really regretting that we perhaps were a little rash or a little bit gung-ho. Therefore, be slightly mindful about what you're bringing a close to this week. It's not necessarily don't burn your bridges. That's not quite the way that I want to express it, but just ensure that you're being selective about what you're ridding yourself of. That's what I want to say. You may find, as we have the Justice card here, the card that rules Libra, do go and check out Libra because there's certainly some helpful information and crossover between you and Libra. But you may find that you want to also restore the balance of fairness, whether that's about you having felt unfairly treated or indebted to somebody else and making moves and measures to correct that. Again, that's absolutely fine. But if you are finding that you feel a little bit shortchanged Again, this is something that I had said to, I think, Libra as well, actually. There may be feelings of I've put in a lot of energy and effort and that hasn't been recognized. If that is true for you, just be slightly mindful that you're not bringing down the guillotine and bringing in finality to such a degree that you might regret it later. It's absolutely fine to have a bit of space, to have a bit of time, but don't abandon your post entirely. This is all I would warn you against, Aquarius. You may find that, I mean this with a pinch of salt, you may find that you're just above it all this week. You're like, oh, silly old people. And I would just say, I can, because you're likely, again with Aquarius, because you are individuals, because you're unique in your approach, you may be slightly confused by the actions, decisions, and behavior of groups this week. Why are you behaving like that? Pull yourself together. But that's fine to think, but not to act upon, is all I would say. The final cup card you have is the Four of Cups, the Lord of Blended Pleasure. This again reiterates with the Eight of Cups, the Lord of Abandoned Success, just ensuring that you can see here that the universe is also almost offering the cup that this gap is created, the gap that's created in the Eight of Cups. Therefore, don't look over opportunities or gifts that the universe trying to. Don't be too strong-willed this week is probably how I would sum it up. Be receptive and be a little bit cautious before you act. I say this as well because we have the Eight of Wands, the Lord of Swiftness, and sometimes this can show impulsiveness, acting before we think. Yeah, just leaping. What's that? There's that thing. I don't know why I want to say this, but my guide is almost showing me jumping. Yeah, there is that thing where you jump into a puddle and then you suddenly realize that it's really, really deep. And at first you just think it's a really shallow puddle, and then actually you get yourself into trouble. That's kind of the things. It's like, don't take unnecessary risk. Don't jump into situations that you have made an assumption around. If you heed that advice, should all be fine, basically. Be sure to check out your rising sign and your moon sign. If you're not sure how to do that, check the pinned comment below. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment, as it helps me to know to carry on doing these wonderful taroscopes for you all. But until next week, have a glorious, glorious rest of the week, and I shall see you then. Bye for now.